to start our. I would say that the MetaPower Advantage is not my favorite tasting thing, but it's certainly not bad. But
No,
I've gotten to
doesn't bother me.
well, I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, just want to get it down. And then I take the MetaPower supplements with my Lifelong Vitality supplements. So I'm just boom, 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 getting those taken care of. And it just is amazing. It is amazing. I have not slept so deep. Last night I had a troubling family situation that happened right before I went to bed. And I had a hard time falling asleep because my mind was troubled and worried. And the next morning, Joe said, "How'd you sleep last night?" And I says, once I got to sleep, I slept sound again. So even though I had a troubled situation that kept me having a hard time falling asleep, man, I've slept so soundly every night for the last 2 weeks. I'm really amazed. And people are saying that I just, collagen's got to be good for us. And in addition to all the other things, helping with so many things. So
Lee, what was it that you were saying something, some product, and using
It's NMN.
hard to say.
It's
What
a
is that?
nicotinamide gluta something.
Okay. And what was that for?
Well, it is another molecule that we have in all of our cells that we stop producing. Our collagen production starts to go down when we hit about 25. And the
Oh, wow.
NMN starts to go down too, or the NAD. We have a molecule in our body called NAD+, and the NMN is a precursor to that. It helps us make it. And it's a whole other ball of wax of bundle of wonderful stuff that's in there that really, a lot of people take the two separate, they buy their collagen and they take their collagen and then they go buy an NMN supplement and they take that. And then there are some other things that are in the Advantage. They go off and buy supplements of that. And this is all in one thing.
One thing, it is just, doTERRA has said that this new product could be an entire company on its own. That's how much the research and everything has gone so well with it and the clinical studies. So I'm super, super excited. Curious if anybody's had oil stories, and I'm going to start saying oil stories or any more MetaPower Minute stories they want to share. So would love to hear from anybody. I know, Janalee and Tammy, that you're both on MetaPower. Curious if you've had any positive things you want to share.
Well, my first week on it, I did not exercise. We're in the process of moving. I'm in the process of resting because I've been packing and
Yay!
I'm at the exhausted
I don't
state.
get to come see you in Arizona anymore.
Nope.
And even though I didn't exercise and I ate cake, cookies, ice cream, bread, I
All of those yummy carbohydrates.
didn't gain.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Okay, now imagine what you could do if you're eating right, Janalee.
I
know. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I'm anxious to know if you're sleeping well. Is the sleeping going?
How's your sleeping doing?
CPAP is an adjustment and it's not going.
Oh no.
She had a sleep study and found out she needed to use.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
And I have a very mild case, so that's why it didn't go detected.
Yeah.
But they put you on the CPAP anyway?
Oh yeah, I still qualified for the CPAP.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's right here.
I'm not telling my doctor about my experience.
Okay.
It only happens to me at altitude, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Oh my goodness. So Janalee, keep using the Advantage every day because a lot of people are getting help with sleep. And so
Yes.
I didn't notice it the first week, and I know you're only about a week in, I think. But the second and third week, man, I started sleeping deeper. So wouldn't that be cool if that helped? I would love to hear that. So, well, anything else anybody wants to share tonight before we get started? So, okay, if you think of something, we can always jump in and share it. And we're gonna introduce Lee here. We all love Lee, but Lee has precious Bella, and she is a dog lover, and she's always had, I think always had a dog in your life, haven't you?
Yep.
And
I've always had a dog in my life.
so much love, so much care. She has so much experience with taking care of dogs, and I'm sure she'll give us some tips for other animals too. But she's prepared a wonderful message for us tonight about our fur babies. And Lee, turn time over to you.
Can I share? Can I
Yep.
share my screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh, looks beautiful.
So here we go. So how to care for our pets naturally, caring for those we love. Because those of us who have pets know that they are just like our family and we love them very much and we want them to be healthy and have good lives. So people have pets. Did you know that?
Yup.
471 million pet dogs worldwide.
Wow.
370 million pet cats. 68% of US households have a pet. Each year there's 4 million dogs and cats adopted from shelters, which is really amazing. It's a really great thing. Bella is my first rescue in 30 years, and I'm just loving her. She's a handful, but I love her.
Yeah.
And in the past 2.5 years, so since the pandemic, 23 million Americans adopted a pet.
Mm.
So that's 20% of us adopted a pet. So these are my pets, and they're not only mine, they're going to be some of my family pets too. But this is Bella.
Aw.
She's a boxer mix. She's 2 years old. She's very sweet. She's very smart and just full of energy. She don't look so energetic there.
Nope.
She's like, you're taking my picture. And this is Bella with Lucky. And Lucky is my grand dog. He's a big handful. He's 10 years old. And he is a Mastiff mix. So he's huge. This is Hanny. She's another grand dog. She's Christine's little girl. She's the goat. And then here are my sisters, Basenjis, that live in Arizona. Zapper is 18 years old. And Lucy and Larry. Lucy's 10, Larry's 4. So we spent some time with them this summer up in the White Mountains, and that's where those pictures were taken. So a lot of this presentation I got from Dr. Rourke, who is local here in Central Texas. She owns Hill Country Mobile Veterinary Service. She is a gold in doTERRA. She's spoken at convention a couple of times. She has some books out. She has a print book that you can get on Aroma Tools or Your Oil Tools or Got Oil Supplies. It's called Essential Oils for Pets Guidebook. And then on her website, essentialoilvet.com, you can get her ebook, Essential Oils and Safety for Pets, and that's free. And that's her with her 2 dogs. So kind of what I want to approach tonight is whether you have a pet or not, you may know somebody who does, and you can help them. And here's a lady helping with a horse. And yes, you can use essential oils on horses. You can use them for cats, dogs, rabbits, birds, just about anything you have as a pet. Maybe not a fish.
Yeah. I never thought of a bird. Bird seems
Yeah.
so tiny.
Well, some people have big birds.
Oh, true.
So the first thing to remember is you want to keep it simple and safe. So stick with pre-diluted oils like our doTERRA Touch collection. If you choose to dilute yourself, use a 1 to 3% dilution ratio. That'll work for any dog, no matter how small, or cat, no matter how small, or bird, probably. If you diffuse, use 3 to 4 drops in your diffuser. Make sure your diffuser is in a safe place. It doesn't get where it can't be knocked over, because I don't know about cats, but I know my dogs, if they knock over something like that and there was liquid in it, they'd be licking it up. And you might be diffusing something that you don't want them to have internally, such as tea tree and wintergreen. You don't want to use those oils, either one of those, topically or internally with dogs or cats. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It's easier than you might think. You can use lavender. Oops, that's not my lavender. That's my copaiba. That's my lavender for fireworks and thunderstorms. Animals frequently are afraid of thunderstorms and fireworks. They have a noise anxiety. And that's one of the things I want you to think about is in our families, of course, we don't want our children or our family members to be ill. We don't want them to have a fever or to be anxious about anything or have an upset stomach, digestive problems, respiratory problems. Pets can have those same things. They can have all of those same issues. They can have a fever, they can have anxiety. I took a weekend-long, weekend-long webinar that went for actually 3 days. It was over Labor Day weekend on anxiety in dogs, and learned some pretty amazing things. So lavender is going to be your go-to for anything like that. So the lavender for fireworks and thunderstorms to calm them down. Tamer, one of our kids' oils, great thing to use for a soothing tummy massage. Peace, great to diffuse, and it has just a wonderful aroma. I like to kind of mix it with Serenity. It's very calming if you mix it with Serenity. Frankincense is great for helping pets who have problems with their skin. If they have a rash, or they have a sore, or they've gotten a scrape somehow, they might have a sore foot, and their feet are just kind of like our hands and our feet. So it's good to use frankincense for that. And copaiba for everything. I have not met a pet yet that didn't like copaiba. And literally you can use it for calming them. You can use it if they have a digestive upset. You can use it if they have aches and pains.
Yep.
You can use it to help them sleep. It's just one of those wonderful oils. It's great for us. It's great for pets too.
And you said they love to lick it. And
They love it. They love to lick it. They love to smell it.
they know what's good for them.
Yep. So here, I just love this, that the kids' oils, since they are designed to not be quite as strong as the oils that adults use, and they are already diluted with fractionated coconut oil, they're a great thing to have on hand for fur babies as well. So, and for horses, for any kind of animal that you may have, because they are so well diluted, they're just a really great thing to have on hand for them, because you can use, if they've got a sore muscle or an ache or something. I've had dogs with sprained wrists and sprained ankles. You can use, okay, I'm going to forget which one.
So the
Stronger.
rescuer helps with pain.
Rescuer, yes, Rescuer, which is instead of using Deep Blue, you can use
Yep.
Rescuer. You can use Calmer instead of using lavender or Serenity.
Yep.
You can use the Tamer for their tummies. So there are just some really great oils there that you can use for them. And you can use the emotional oils as well. These are the touch oils that doTERRA puts out for our emotions. And you can see, of course, there's Peace there. These are great too. One thing you have to think about with roller bottles is if you have a very furry pet, maybe just on the tips of the ears or on their paws, you want to use that roller bottle. If they've got a nice smooth belly, Bella happens to have a nice smooth belly, so I can use roll-ons on her belly as well. And I have used Cheer for her. When we came home last week, I used Cheer for her because I had been playing with Lucky for 5 days, and the day after we got home, she was down. She was lonely. So I used some cheer on her and it perked her right up. She was much better. Forgive and console are also great if they need to be calmed. They're great ways to calm them. So here are some oils to avoid with your kitty. Topically and internally, no birch. Citrus oils, definitely diffuse, but don't use them on them topically or internally. Cinnamon, clove, dill, fennel. So your spice oils, tea tree, oregano, peppermint, thyme, rosemary, spearmint, and wintergreen. So your mints and your herbs and your spices you want to avoid with cats. That's a beautiful cat. I love that cat. And dogs, you want to avoid birch, tea tree, and wintergreen, and cautiously use your hot oils, just like you would with a child. Your oregano, cassia, cinnamon, clove, rosemary, and thyme, you want to use, definitely dilute those before you use them. I find that spray bottles are the best way to go with furry creatures. Like I said, if you've got a short-haired dog or a short-haired cat or a hairless dog or cat, then you can go with the roller bottle. That works really well. But if you have a furry creature, then it's good to use a spray bottle.
So Lee, on the last slide you had with all those, avoid or caution, that's always a little scary to me. Does that, it doesn't mean those are going to kill the animal. It's not going to make them, too much of it could make them sick.
Yes, too much of it can make them sick.
Right.
So you want to be very careful.
Just very careful.
May as well just avoid them topically and internally and just diffuse those oils.
Right. So diffusing is okay. It's just you don't want to have the accident overdose of those things for them.
Okay. Yeah. And again, we're back to here. You can help. You can help those people that you know. I'm going to show you another little way you can help. This is Sierra. She was my last golden, my sweet little baby. And she died when she was 9. She's 8 there. She suffered from bone cancer. She was so sweet and so smart, and she was just a little hooligan. She loved to run away. We had a class that I was teaching in person one night, and there was a thunderstorm coming, and I opened the door and she just bounded out. She was like, nope, you're not leaving me here with this thunderstorm coming. And then I had to catch her. So I was late, needless to say. Yep. She loved to get out and run. So when she got the bone cancer, it was very difficult. She couldn't walk. She was, I had a harness that was like a suitcase, made her like a suitcase where I could lift her up and lift her out of the trailer or lift her into the vehicle and out of the vehicle. And she weighed 75 pounds, so it wasn't easy. They wanted to, when they diagnosed her, they wanted to amputate her leg, and it was the front leg, and she was 9 years old. I didn't want her to go through that. So I went to the oils and I made this spray in a 2-ounce glass spray bottle. I put 10 drops of DDR Prime, 5 drops each of frankincense, copaiba, and turmeric. And I filled the bottle with fractionated coconut oil. I shook it up every time I used it, and I sprayed it on her tumor, which was on her elbow, 4 to 6 times daily. She got so she could walk, and that tumor was gone before she passed away. Now, she did have a tumor in her mouth, which I couldn't get to, and she had cancer in other parts of her body, but that tumor was gone from using this spray. So there are ways you can help people. If people have a dog or a cat, a pet that has some kind of cancer or serious illness, there are ways to help them other than drastic solutions that vets may offer. And I need to let you know that one of the things that Dr. Rourke said at convention this year was that the veterinary business is in crisis. Lots of vets and their staffs are leaving the business. They can't afford to stay in business. Often people will bring a pet to a vet and then they can't afford the treatment, so they just leave them there. So, which I think is just horrible. I'm sure that most vets will work out anything they possibly can with you to take care of your animal. And you have to be proactive with their healthcare, just as we want to be proactive with ours. So you have to make the decision. The other thing we could have done with Sierra was she could have had chemo, but I didn't want to put her through chemo. And I know a lot of people who've done that with their pets. Their pets have had chemo, but I think it's hard enough for us to do. How do you do that with a pet, just like a child who doesn't understand what's going on? I just think it would be very hard. So that's my opinion, but pay attention because vets are leaving, and you want to help people as much as you can be able to take care of their pets. So these are 3 other sprays that I make and use regularly. Don't use the Liquid Calm as much for Bella because she is not afraid of fireworks, or thunderstorms. And she hasn't had a hot spot, but I certainly use the pet ear cleaner. So the Liquid Calm I used greatly for Sierra, and it's 10 drops each, Balance, Serenity, Vetiver, Copaiba, fractionated coconut oil to fill the spray bottle. Just put it in that 4-ounce spray bottle, shake it up really good. You can spray it on your hands and put it on their pads, and it's best to put it on their rear pads, the tips of their ears. You can put it along their spine as needed for any kind of anxiety. And of course, you could diffuse those same oils to enhance the calming effect. There's some cute little puppies. So this is my hotspot itch spray. I don't know if you all know if everybody knows. Does everybody know what a hotspot is? I can't see you, so.
No, I don't know, Lee.
Okay, a hotspot is an open wound that an animal will get from, they might get a bite, they might get an ant bite or a mosquito bite, and they chew at it to make it stop itching, and then pretty soon the fur around that spot comes out, and so it's open, and then they lick it and it's wet. So you want to put something on there like witch hazel, which will help it to dry out. Another good idea is if you're using this for itching, a lot of dogs, particularly in Central Texas in the spring, will have a grass allergy. Both Hanny and Lucky both have that. So we make witch hazel wipes for when they come in. We just take about half a cup of witch hazel and put it in a bowl and tear up paper towels and stick them down in there and let them absorb the witch hazel. And then we use those to wipe them off when they come in the house, so that gets the allergens off of them. And then if you'll mix up this particular blend with the witch hazel, the aloe vera gel, the glycerin, the FCO, colloidal silver is great, not necessary for the itch spray, but if you're using it for hot spots, it's very good because it's a wound healer. Geranium, lavender, and cedarwood. Use distilled water to fill up the bottle and shake it all up and spray it on the hot spot 1 to 4 times every day. And for itching, you can just spray it all over their body. And of course, use some common sense. Don't get it in their eyes and their mouth or in their nose. Just like us, we don't want to put it in our eyes or our noses or our ears. So it's the same thing with our pets. We want to keep those oils out of their eyes, noses, and ears. You can substitute 2 drops of frankincense for 2 of the drops of cedarwood, or you can just add 2 drops of frankincense, particularly if it's a hot spot, because that really helps that sore to heal up. And this is the ear wash dog spray. It's basil, lavender, FCO, and you can start with just those. I like to use the Arbor Vitae because if your dogs or cats happen to get ear mites, that's a good way to get rid of ear mites. You can use frankincense and geranium as well. And the same thing, I just put it all in a spray bottle and I shake it up, and you don't spray it in their ear. You take a cotton ball and spray it on the cotton ball and then clean their ear out with that cotton ball. And you don't want to use a Q-tip with a pet. You want to use an actual cotton ball. and it will actually clear out dirt and debris that gets in their ears. And this is my dog shampoo that I love. I love this dog shampoo. It's just a cup of distilled water, 2 tablespoons Castile soap, 5 drops of lavender, 4 drops of peppermint, and 5 drops of cedarwood. And you just mix it all together. I keep mine in a mason jar. It looks watery, but you just use it like a regular dog shampoo or pet shampoo. I've never given a cat a bath, but I know people who give cats baths. So it will work with a cat too.
May I see that last slide one more time?
Which one? The one with
Right-
the ear drops?
Right before shampoo.
To the eardrops.
Thank you.
You're
I'm good.
welcome. Let me let it come back up for you.
Got it.
Okay, did you get your picture?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I love
Okay.
this dog in this bathtub. That was not Sierra. I did have Goldens who loved baths and who loved to get in the bath with me,
Oh my
but she was not one.
That's
And
so
here are
fun.
just a few others, a few other little tricks and tips. For ticks and fleas, you can use rosemary and purify, or of course, Sterishield. Eucalyptus is also good for getting rid of ticks and fleas. I will take a bandana and soak it in purified water and 4 drops of rosemary purify and a little Sterishield in there as well, just the oil. Excuse me. Wring it out and let it dry. Let it soak in there and then wring it out and let it dry and use it as a collar. Excuse me. You could also do that with a cloth collar that you can purchase for a dog. Just let it soak in those oils, and then you've made your own little flea collar for them that is better than buying one of the flea collars that's full of chemicals. Of course, for calming, Serenity Balance and lavender. Lavender for allergies is another great thing to have on hand. Again, probably in a spray bottle is the best way to do that. You can use geranium, ylang ylang, and lavender for hyperactivity. Just put a couple of drops in the palm of your hand with a little carrier oil and massage it onto their pads. And pet them when you're done, because then you're getting it all over them when you're petting them. For the bath, you can also add Serenity Lavender. Of course, mine has lavender in it, vetiver and marjoram. And for pet odors, Wild Orange, On Guard, and Purify are just great. You can massage it on their feet with a teaspoon of carrier oil. It helps just to get rid of the yicky pet odor that you can get. And here are some dilution ratios. As I said, if you do the 1-to-3 ratio, then dilution ratio, then that will cover any dog from 0 to over 100 pounds. But as they get bigger, then of course you can reduce the dilution ratio and do 50% for, like Bella, I do 50% for her. And Lucky is a 25% dilution dog because he's 125 pounds. So he's a big boy. Dogs have reflexology points on their pads. So it's their hind paws that have these reflexology points. And that's why I suggested when you use oils and you put them on their pads, that you put them on the back pads, because just like humans, they have reflexology points as well. So if you've got a dog that's having trouble with sinuses, you can see you would put it right between the 2 middle pads would help with the sinuses. If they're having problems with their ears, and you want to put it right on that the second from the outside pad. Amazing. So yes, you can help. And I hope you will. I hope that if you find some people, if you don't have a pet that you want to help yourself and you know someone who has pets, I hope that you'll let them know that not only can they use essential oils for themselves, but they can use essential oils with their pets. Pets can also take, dogs at least, can take the LLV, the Lifelong Vitality
Mhm.
pack. You can use the probiotics with them. The PB Assist Plus you can use with them. Terrazyme you can use with them. Mine, of course, loves Copaiba, so I try not to drop the soft gels in the floor because she'll just gobble it up. But any of the supplements that we have work well for them too.
I
So
was gonna ask you that, Lee, because it's interesting how you and I've been doing this for about 7 years, and there's so many people that think doTERRA is just an oil company. And I find that I use the supplements. I mean, I use the oils every day too, but the supplements to me are more important, or maybe I use them more than necessarily going to an oil. And I wondered the ratio of what you do with your pets.
I do half
Okay.
for Bella. Now, if it was a smaller dog or a cat, I would probably only do a quarter of the LLV.
Okay.
So, but you'll find if you go online or if you go to a pet store, there are all kinds of supplements for pets.
Really? Okay.
So knowing that
Giving your
you
dog
can-
the best.
yes, knowing that you're giving them the best with doTERRA, they're just, to me, it's a wonderful thing to be able to share that
That is
with
fantastic.
my pets. And
I wonder if your pet needs MetaPower.
now that I don't know.
Oh my goodness
I
gracious.
think Bella is skinny enough and
Well,
she's got a lot of energy. So
she's young. She's got plenty of everything she needs.
yeah, I think we'll wait a while to give her that.
It's kind of interesting, and I'm sorry, are you in the done phase? Because
I am in the done. I have my little thank you slide up there.
Excellent. Excellent. So much good information. Thank you so much, Lee.
You're
Does anybody have
welcome.
questions for Lee about pets and your very own pets?
Or sharing.
So,
Oh.
hey, Lee, this is Patty.
Yes.
Patty.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, how you doing? I wanted to add a couple of things for frankincense.
Uh-huh.
And that is at my 80-pound couch paperweight,
Yes.
Mia. She did not respond well to lavender. She doesn't like it. So
Most
we
dogs don't
use the
like lavender.
frankincense touch and we use the Copaiba touch
Yep.
from the touch line. We also use the tummy tamer on her as
Mhm.
well. Sometimes we catch her eating lily grass or something like that. We used that when she had her surgery. The Copaiba and the
Yes.
frankincense helped her with pain relief after
Nice.
she had knee surgery. And then we use it for thunderstorms. We use it for fireworks. And it just helps her. I mean, she prefers the frankincense to the lavender.
Lavender.
And it does essentially the same thing. It calms her
Yep.
down. It gives her just a sense of security, and she becomes a really mushy dog at that point,
That is
Yep.
awesome.
Jenna Lee, did you have a question?
I was just gonna say that I liked to put peppermint on my Yorkie poo. His
Uh,
was pretty thick, and if he was freshly clean, all it took was him going outside in the heat, and he smelled. I don't
Yep.
know what the fur, but just the
Well,
peppermint.
they get odors when they go outside often.
And I would just rub it on his fur, and he was fine with it. And then he smelled like peppermint.
Yeah.
I love it. Love
And
it.
also digestion, I'd put it in a little capsule. And when he had tummy problems, and wrap a piece of meat around it, and that
Uh-huh.
helped.
Or some peanut butter.
There you go. There you go.
Jolene, you're thinking of chickens, huh?
Yeah,
I'd have some Copaiba on hand. I'm sure you do.
there you go. I love it. And Tammy says her her spoiled rotten dog will appreciate all this info too. Oh, makes me so happy. Lots of great information. And before we end, we've got Patty on tonight, and Patty's going to be teaching us next week about aromatherapy and how we can use maybe our diffusers and other ways of aromatically using the oils to benefit our lives. Patty's an awesome teacher, so I hope you all come back next Tuesday, and feel free to bring a friend. We would just love to have more people on. We need to start expanding our numbers, and we would love that. We have MetaPower minutes we're going to be having every Tuesday night too. So if you're getting on to MetaPower, come prepared to share your stories, how you're feeling, and the changes that you've had. I can't say enough good things about MetaPower. I really think that it's the one thing I may change. I take my advantage in the morning, and I have tons of clarity and energy, but I sleep so well at night, and I'm getting more tired in the evenings than I have been. And so I read today one of the testimonials where they switched and took the advantage in the evening instead of in the morning.
I think you'd have too much energy and not want to go to sleep.
That's what I wonder. Anyway, I'm gonna have to experiment with that.
I took mine pretty late yesterday because, I started taking 2.
Yeah, oh, that's
I
right.
took one early, and then I didn't get to take one till after I got home from our training, and I
Yeah.
stopped at the grocery store on the way home. So I got home pretty late and took it as soon as I got in the door, and I was pretty wide awake.
Interesting.
So,
Okay, well, that might be a problem.
yeah, so today I took it, because I'm doing intermittent fasting, I don't take it
Yeah.
till noon to start with, and then I took the second one at 2.
Well, there
So,
you go.
yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see how you do with 2.
Yes,
We're allowed to have 2 or 3 a day. They said it just depends on your age, on your body makeup, and Lee's doing an experiment for us, so it'll be great. Anyway, come join us next week, and stay on for just a short business meeting if you'd like. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We so appreciate you being here tonight.
if you really want more information on MetaPower, Shalene and I will be doing a class next Wednesday, one at 11 a.m. and one at 7 p.m., a Zoom class.
Yep.
So,
Got a lot of those going on because we got a lot of information to share. Want to get the word out there. So yeah, let us know if you want more information or if you know of somebody that wants more information.